Several years ago, the grass alfalfa was substantially reduced in the northeastern United States due to a killer pest called alfalfa weevil. Now, alfalfa was a very essential produce in the grasslands of the United States, as it was grown as fodder for cattle and also helped increase agricultural efficiency as it was a leguminous plant. Realizing the importance of diminishing alfalfa and to combat the alfalfa weevil terror, natural enemies of the pest, such as a small wasp called Bathyplectus and lady beetles, were introduced. Sometimes, farmers went to the extent of importing such beneficial insects from far-off countries like China to check the weevil pestilence. This use of biological methods to control plant diseases and pests is called biological pest control, whereas the beneficial organisms nurtured to deal with pests are known as biocontrol agents. This biocontrol method, which relies on natural predation, is in stark contrast to the modern-day practice of dealing with insects and pests with toxic chemicals such as pesticides and insecticides. Not only are these chemicals harmful to human beings, animals, and the environment, since they pollute soil and groundwater with their toxicity, but they are also expensive for farmers, especially in developing countries like India. Recently, after a spate of suicides by Indian farmers in the Vidarbha region of Maharashtra due to failed crops and deaths, scientists suggested organic farming as a means of smart agriculture that would also save them from spending money on chemicals like insecticides, pesticides, and weedicides. The principle of organic farming lies in biodiversity. The greater the variety of flora and fauna in the fields, the more sustainable is farming. Therefore, in organic farming, insects and pests are not always completely eradicated. Rather, they are kept at manageable levels within the living ecosystem. At times, eradication of pests is actually undesirable because several beneficial predatory and parasitic insects depend on them as food or hosts for their survival. Organic farming, in other words, is an attempt to create a living, vibrant and natural ecosystem in the fields by using natural green manure, compost, organic insecticides, fertilizers, and biological pest control methods, and limiting the use of synthetic pesticides and fertilizers. Organic farming, therefore, requires an understanding of various interactions that take place between different flora and fauna that live in the fields. Also, it is important to possess detailed knowledge of the different life forms that live in the fields, their life cycles, feeding patterns, and preferable habitats. Such knowledge of life around the field helps implement biocontrol of pests. For instance, insects such as the lady beetle, also known as the ladybird, can be used to eliminate aphids, whereas dragonflies can stamp out mosquitoes. Keeping facts like this in mind, beneficial insects that serve as biocontrol agents are conserved under an Integrated Pest Management or IPM program. IPM is an integrated approach to crop management to solve ecological problems relating to agriculture. It provides an efficient solution to organic farming since it involves biological controls. For example, you may have heard of Bt cotton and Bt brinjal in the news. Did you know that Bt stands for the bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis? Bt is a microbial biocontrol agent that is introduced into fields to control butterfly caterpillars. Bt is available as dried spores, which are mixed with water and sprayed on plants such as brassicas that are under attack from insect larvae. When insect larvae consume the spores or crystals of this bacteria, the alkaline pH of their gut activates the cry-toxin present in the bacterial spores, which ultimately kills the larvae. These toxins in Bt are insect-specific and therefore do not harm other organisms. The biocontrol agent Bt is also used to develop genetically modified Bt crops such as Bt cotton and Bt brinjal by introducing Bt genes into cotton and brinjal plants respectively with the help of genetic engineering. These crops then become resistant to attack by insect pests. Another natural insecticide called pyrethrum, extracted from the flower head of Chrysanthemum cinerarii folium, is used in organic farming practices. Moreover, due to the insecticidal properties of the plant, it is also sometimes grown near crops to repel insects such as aphids and leafhoppers. Likewise, a free-living fungus called trichoderma, which is very common in plant roots, acts as a biocontrol agent for various plant pathogens. In addition, baculoviruses of genus Nucleopolyhedrovirus are used as biocontrol agents for insects and other arthropods. These viruses have an additional advantage as they are species-specific. They do not harm other plants, mammals, or other non-target insects. Such biocontrol agents are especially desirable in IPM programs or when an ecologically sensitive area is being treated. In this manner, biocontrol agents play a dual role by helping in organic farming and maintaining a balance in the ecosystem. In the 1800s, a German chemist, Justus von Liebig, had proposed the use of chemical elements like nitrogen that are beneficial to plant growth in soil so that abundant food can be produced around the world. Thus, chemical fertilizers were born. However, Liebig's noble dream to eliminate hunger around the world by increased productivity could not be realized. Around the early 20th century, a British scientist, Sir Albert Howard, objected to the addition of chemicals to agricultural soil. He insisted that it was the health of the soil that determined the growth of plants. However, in his lifetime, he was ridiculed for his beliefs. But later, farmers and scientists around the world realized that chemical fertilizers were the chief pollutants of both the environment and soil. The impact of these fertilizers had become so severe that in Punjab, about 10% of groundwater samples show the presence of noxious chemicals more than the permissible limit prescribed by the World Health Organization or WHO. This paved the need for organic farming, wherein biofertilizers are used instead of synthetic chemical fertilizers. Did you know that it was Sir Howard's writings that formed the basis of organic farming? Which is why he is also regarded as the father of organic farming. Biofertilizers are substances containing living organisms such as bacteria, cyanobacteria, and fungi that promote plant growth naturally by increasing soil fertility. Moreover, they sometimes form symbiotic associations with plants and aid in inorganic nutrient uptake by the plants. Rhizobium, Azospirillum, and Azotobacter are the most commonly used nitrogen-fixing bacteria in biofertilizers. Rhizobium bacteria exist symbiotically in the root nodules of leguminous plants, where it converts atmospheric nitrogen into usable organic forms for plant use in return for food prepared by plants via photosynthesis. So, it is usually used as an inoculant for legume crops. Azospirillum and Azotobacter, on the other hand, are free-living nitrogen-fixing bacteria that live in soil and convert atmospheric nitrogen into easily absorbable forms such as ammonia. They are usually used for crops such as millets, sugarcane, wheat, and maize. Cyanobacteria such as Anabina, Nostoc, and Oscillatoria are also used as biofertilizers since they are capable of fixing atmospheric nitrogen in special cells called heterocysts. Similarly, a water fern, Azolla, forms a symbiotic association with Cyanobacteria Anabina, which helps the plant fix atmospheric nitrogen. Hence, Azolla is extensively used as a biofertilizer in paddy fields. Also known as blue-green algae, cyanobacteria are photosynthetic, prokaryotic organisms that serve as important biofertilizers worldwide since they add organic matter to soil, thereby increasing its fertility. Even fungi, specifically those belonging to genus Glomus, form symbiotic associations like mycorrhiza with the roots of vascular plants. Fungi help the plant absorb phosphorus from the soil. In addition, these plants also show resistance to root-borne pathogens, metallic contamination, salinity, and drought. In return, fungi receive carbohydrates such as glucose from the plants. Moreover, as biofertilizers contain living organisms, they safely convert the complex unavailable nutrients, including remnant chemical fertilizers, if any, into simple absorbable forms, thereby making our environment eco-friendly. As a result, more and more farmers in our country are beginning to rely on these biofertilizers instead of chemical fertilizers because of their obvious utility and cost-effectiveness.